this morning. We're talking with Kelly Fox from ICTC. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And Kelly Fox is indeed on the line with us from ICTC. Busy place, hopping place there at ICTC as we get this second part of the school year underway. What's going on at ICTC, Kelly?
Yeah, definitely. Today actually is the very last day of our second marking period, so tomorrow kicks off that second semester. And for us, that is always an opportunity to introduce potential new students to the 13 technical program areas that we offer here at the ICTC. And COVID or no COVID, we're making a plan, and we're headed out next month to do that. Our digital communication students have been busy getting footage and putting together a comprehensive video that really will highlight each one of our areas. It will introduce potential new students to our instructors and give them the overview in a more brief way, but still a very informative and complete way. All new students will be introduced to the ICTC through that video, and we're taking that out to our sending schools this year rather than having all of those new students coming into the school in phase one, which is the tour.
It's sort of like a recruitment tool right there, isn't it, that video? The fact that you're able to put that together and do it so well, and students who are interested in that particular field could say, hey, I could do neat things like this at ICTC.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is a tool that a lot of our sending districts have been asking for a long time because, yes, we have a great recruitment process and orientation process for our new students, but there's always other times throughout the year when maybe a new student moves into the district or conversation starts and students are interested in learning more about career and technical education, and how easy it's going to be now for our sending schools just to bring up this video, click on it, and whether they watch the whole 25 to 30 minutes of it or if they just go to a certain part of the video because a student may just be interested in automotive, so then you're looking at automotive technology and collision repair, or if they're interested in cooking, they're going out to culinary arts. So very, very good tool to use throughout the year with all students who may have questions about the ICTC and about career and technical education.
You know, I want to get back to that in just a second, but it did raise a question in my mind, and that has to do with students who maybe aren't hooked up and hooked into ICTC in the middle of an academic year, or say they're in their sophomore or even going into their junior year. And are there still opportunities for them at ICTC, either as a part of their academic schedule or maybe as some extra work?
Yeah, you know, we are always serving here as an elective to our students who attend. And we are adding a few more students right now at the semester break to the ICTC. And I'll tell you, though, this year, because we were so popular through COVID, and at the beginning of this year, we started out very high with our number, highest that it's been ever, with our enrollment. So a lot of our areas actually closed very early, and they've maintained that status. But in some areas where there's room, and if the student has an interest, we are definitely able to add at semester. It's a natural break in the schedule, and they won't be on the same track, of course, as the students who started with us back in August. But we always say the sooner the better to come here to the ICTC. So when we can make it work, we work with our sending schools and we pull those students that are interested right into these programs.
Now, for a student who was headed in one direction academically and decided, you know what, I really have an interest now in ICTC, I wonder if it's too late for me to even get started on a program track with them. Is there such a thing as too late, and where would that line be?
You know what? Our programs are designed, of course, to be completed in 3 years. In 3 years, I always say that allows our students to complete the basic requirements or the state standard requirements, and then they get a little bit of the gravy because they become eligible for things like cooperative education. They get all of their industry certifications. That is all possible for a 3-year student. But all of our programs also are laid out to be a 1-year, a 2-year, and a 3-year program. So we do have that flexibility, Todd, that you're talking about, where at any time if a student decides to come, we can mold that curriculum to meet their needs based on that time. What they get in the end, of course, might look a little different. So obviously the 3-year deal is the best deal and provides the most opportunity as well as some extra opportunities for those students who are very devoted. But there are also 2-year opportunities where industry certifications can still be acquired. And then, of course, the 1-year experience, I say to students, that is a great way to confirm in yourself, student, is career and technical education, is this particular career path where you want to head after high school? And it gives them 180 days to check it out pretty much for free because they're getting credit for it. And then they can really tune into their post-secondary plan a little better because they've had that 1 year full of skills.
Yeah. I want to get back to the recruitment videos and how they are going to be shared at their various schools and the number of programs that ICTC offers and the ways that as you've put this video together, you've been able to show the strengths of each of these programs. I would assume it's different for different programs. Culinary is not going to look the same as masonry, for instance, or machining.
Right. Well, when you look at 13 programs, Todd, and you think about taking this video out to our sending schools so that all ninth graders can see it, we have to, we had to watch the time on the video. So we had to look at our 13 areas and say, how can we highlight each one of them equally time-wise? And so our video does have a very uniform look to it, where there's a lot of video going on so that students can see the action and the work that's going on in each program area. Each instructor has a chance to introduce themselves and the program area and hit on just a few highlights. So for 30 seconds to a minute, each instructor is speaking and giving that overview of their program area. And then we have some students in there as well. So it's a great video, and again, it's a comprehensive one that is school-wide, and it is made to fit the class period of our audience because we want them to see all of ICTC in one class period. And then by seeing this video, we're hoping that they will sign up, of course, for our next phase, which is the shadow opportunity. And we will be offering in-house shadowing in March and April as long as everything in our community allows that type of visit to occur. We believe that we'll be able to host that on a limited, adjusted type schedule. We'll be shadowing a lot longer this year than typical because we want to keep our numbers down and keep it safe, but we will be opening up the doors to those incoming students through a shadow visit.
Would I be correct in assuming then that when we're talking now about school students, that it could expand to the video offerings I'm talking about, could expand to the adult ed, and there would be various ways in which to display that, most primarily on your Facebook or your school website?
Absolutely, yes. And we actually have a YouTube channel where our digital communication students post the videos that they produce. And so that video will be on our website, on our Facebook page. It'll be on the YouTube channel. We want that to be an available link to anybody that needs information about the ICTC.
Now, we think about adult ed as being summertime only. That's not really the case, though, is it?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Actually, I just forwarded an email to adult ed before I left last night, and there's a senior at one of our sending schools, and he is interested in coming as an adult student in one of our automotive programs, and so he's beginning to inquire as to what does he need to do to make that happen. And those students we call are an intergenerational student, so they come during the daytime because they've passed their clearances and there's room in the program area, and they can come and they actually spend a little longer each day with us because they're adults. They have a little bit more flexible schedule, and so they're able to finish the program in a shorter amount of time because they're spending more time with us each school day.
Talking with Kelly Fox, the ICTC and its recruitment efforts, and those are getting underway, and the freshmen at our Indiana County sending schools will be getting these wonderful videos to present. I'm sure that you've spoken with the folks at each of those sending schools and offered them whatever supplemental backup you can in order to have an interested student get every bit of information that he or she needs.
Yeah, absolutely. We're blessed to have great sending school counselors, and We all work together well, and it's a great time to be in career and technical education because our community is aware of the opportunities available with training available through career and technical education. So, ICTC is where it's at right now, and we so appreciate that support from our sending schools. That's what makes us the cut above the rest, because we have that financial support from each one of our sending districts, and we're able to take that training to the level that it is, and it's a much higher level than any of our districts themselves could offer. So their combined efforts gives our students greater opportunities.
Now, you mentioned the popularity that and ICTC is seeing a big boom right now, and the number of class availabilities, the open spots might fill up pretty quickly. I'm sure those discussions have taken place all season long for you and the rest of the administration there at ICTC about what happens if we get filled way beyond if we get filled up and there are many, many more people that want to come. What do you do in those cases?
Yeah, well, that is the case that we were in just last year, Todd. I want to tell you, we had more students interested than we had seats available, and it was an amazing situation to look at on black and white. And it does, it filtered. That was at our highest moment, and it does filter out the closer you get to the start of school and as school starts and if students change their mind or things like that. But we really did not have a lot of movement. I can use health occupations as an example. We have not moved our enrollment in health occupations one iota since last May, because each student that got in wants to be in, and they've held their seat. It was so tight, I had parents calling me all summer saying, could my son get in? And I had no seats to offer. So we are definitely looking at that, and if we could expand, and if money were not an option, of course, we could build a couple of health occupation areas. We could build a couple of welding areas because students are so interested in those areas. And this year, in the past year here, we've had to turn some interested students away, or what we try to do is fit them into an area that is of their second choice. But boy, that was hard this year too, because again, we were so popular and everybody was just coming in. So that's why we're excited for this year. We're excited to still go out with this video, have the students come in and shadow. We're even talking about having an outdoor open house, because we always have a very well-attended open house from the community end of February. We're not doing it at that time this year. We want to give the COVID situation a little longer and get closer to spring and hopefully be able to offer an outdoor open house, especially to those parents for the students that are signing on for 2021, 22, and give them a chance to come here to the school and meet our instructors and see some of the projects that our students are able to create.
Big times and good times at ICTC right now. Kelly Fox, thanks so much for being with us today to talk about it.
Oh, hey, thanks for having us, Todd. We love talking about what's happening here at the ICTC.
And why not? Why not? Thanks so much. Have a great day.
All right, you too. All right, you too.